It's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet, and retweet. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
Yes, it is. We are live. Episode 4, Remember the Show, starring Belal. Remember the name, Muhammad. My name is Jason Anik. I could not be more excited for tonight's program. Excited for tonight's program, but also excited about some other things. Buzzing. Ooh, Tatiana already in the building. I love it. Boy, it's been a good week, man. It's good to see you. I'm as excited for this show as I am for some news that came down the pike about you this week. So let us go, man. Tell the audience what's up.
Man, great to be here again, man. Happy we're on our 4th show, man. Just feels like yesterday this was just a thought in our heads. We didn't know what we were going to do. Now I feel like we're experts. We're on that level of John Anik and Kenny Florian. We're the go-to show now that people are coming to watch. But, yeah, man, exciting week, man. Finally got my fight. I got a name now. I got a date. Now I'm ready to get back to work, man. A lot of people have been asking me, when am I fighting? When am I fighting? Finally, I got this fight. I got a guy to say yes. And it's time to get it cracking.
Well, I'm excited, man, and I 12/19 is stamped hard on my calendar, and I was saying to Cody Merrill, our producer off the air, I'd already have my flight booked to Vegas, in different circumstances. It wasn't COVID-19, certainly not going to allow me into the apex. But anyway, Sean Brady, certainly an interesting opponent for you. Last week, you sort of alluded to the fact maybe you might be looking for, maybe a different name coming down the pike. But, from what I see here, it could be a good opportunity for you, an undefeated fighter. So in terms of Sean Brady, how much was he on your radar, before the call came in?
For me, I'm one of those guys. I'm sitting there. I watch everybody fight. I watch, especially if you're a welterweight. I'm watching you fight no matter what. And then a guy like him, he's 13-0. So it's like one of those, he's going to be on my radar. Especially he trains with a couple of my teammates, Paul Felder, Jared Gordon. They know him. So they have to pick a side for this one. So they better choose wisely. Yeah, so I've always watched these fighters, especially the guys that are coming up that they're hyping up. He just got a bonus the last fight. So it's one of those for me. I want to fight that makes sense. Like these ranked guys, a lot of them have that excuse of I don't want to fight, I don't want to do this. Mm-hmm. This is an exciting fight for me. This guy has a 13-0 record. He has an O next to his name, and I want to take that O from him. So that's what excites me. That's what wakes me up in the morning. That's what makes me want to pump. And I know he's a tough guy, so that's what's going to make me work that extra harder. And especially his style is kind of like where the upper echelon of the guys in the division have, where they have that wrestling style, that grinding style. And it's going to be one of those fights that's going to prepare me for those type of guys as well.
So interesting with that style, my brother, he and I talk a lot about this 25-foot octagon versus the 30-foot octagon, because really as a fan, it's a different viewing experience. And obviously for the fighters, you get different opinions on where the edge is, if it's the wrestlers or the stand-up guys. So from your standpoint, any thoughts on the cage size for you and how that might affect you?
For me, I don't think it really affects me because I'm comfortable everywhere. Like you see guys where you seeing where Izzy fought Brad Tavares, where Tavares thought, the smaller cage is going to be able to, I'm going to push him to the cage. It's going to help me in my advantage. But when you're going against good guys like Izzy who adapt to a lot of situations, and I feel like I'm the type of same guy where I know how to adapt to situations. I'll know how to move footwork. And I already fought in the smaller cage when I fought Lyman Good. So I already know how it's going to be. So, and I have one of those kids that train it. So I know where it is. But the biggest difference I feel like for the bigger cage, honestly, the smaller cage, we know we're coming to fight. The bigger cage, it gives you them 5 feet extra. So you have to train differently for that. For the smaller cage, I don't think you really need to, because not a lot of fight teams have a huger cage. Most of them have that smaller cage anyway. So all of us are usually used to that already. But there's not really going to be no adjustments from my side. It's just going to be regular normal training in the cage that I have in my gym. For if it was the bigger cage, then I'd be like, dang, all right, well, maybe we have to train an open mat a little bit because it's going to be a lot more footwork. And you saw the fight this weekend where Holly Holm did such a good job of just circling. I mean, Aldana didn't realize that all you have to do is cut her off, but just that bigger cage, it's just a lot harder for you, and it's a lot easier for people that like to move like that.
So when you're going through a training camp, and I know, you're training all the time, but in a spot like this, when you find out October 6th, October 7th, and that date is 12/19, do you go through any specifics in terms of sort of 6 weeks out, 7 weeks out, or through your regimen, or how do you sort of, switch that gear from training all the time to sort of a specific camp?
More so it's for the biggest change is probably just my strength training, where it's more so now I got to be more smarter with it. Before it's like, I just want to lift, I want to get heavy. Like when I'm done fighting, I'm going to sit there and take all the steroids I can, just be a big bodybuilder walking around the house like this. So when I get a fight mode, now it's like, all right, now I got to be a lot smarter with it, be more, adjust that type of schedule with everything, and work more with them and my nutrition. The nutrition is the biggest thing, where it's like, all right, now you can't eat that donut. Now you can't eat that normal bowl of cereal. All right, relax. Now we got to start paying attention to the scale a little bit. So, I mean, nothing changes for me because I'm always training all the time. So, like, the training schedule is always going to be the same for me. Maybe I'll add some sparring sessions in here or there. But for me, nothing else really changes like that.
Gotcha. Well, I'm interested to see what the odds will be on this fight. Certainly with I won't be, I'll be rooting Bully. I might have to lay off, but we don't have odds yet on this fight. We do have some odds on the fight card coming up this weekend. So let's go through a quick Bully's bits. Let's get to a few of those before we bring on our guest. All right, man. Well, we're packed tonight, so I'm not going to go in great detail on this card. We got a nice little tight 3-pack for you again. We're going to start heavyweight division. Ben Rothwell, a slight favorite over Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura, I saw, was plus 135. Ben Rothwell, minus 150. I actually, the lines from Bovada was minus 165. Some money seemed to be coming in on Tybura. Rothwell, now I saw as early as today, minus 150. So heavyweight division, Ben Rothwell, slight favorite over Marcin Tybura. Who you got?
For this one, I got Rothwell. I think he's just a lot bigger. I think he's fought some of the toughest guys in the division. Tybura really hasn't even fought some big names, and I think Rothwell's going to end up being too big for him. Take him down, even control him on a stand-up, and finish him, I feel like.
Okay. Moving right along, co-main event, featherweight division, Edson Barboza, minus 260 against Makwan Amirkhani, plus 200. This line I saw moving in Barboza's favor slightly earlier today as well. Florian seemed to think it was a good spot for Barboza. Seems to think that line could even move. And Florian's point on Monday, it was minus 250. I think it's already moved toward Barboza. So Barboza, Amirkhani, who you got?
Man, I'm surprised. I feel like Barboza should be even higher than that. I feel like he should be like minus 350 or something like that. I feel like he looked good his first fight at 45. It was a was it a 5-rounder with Ige? Or no, I think it was a 3-rounder. Maybe that was a 3-rounder, but like he looked good in there. He had good cardio, and it didn't look like the weight cut really affected him like that. So he looked like he still had his power too. So I think he's gonna come this one hungry. He lost that fight, so his second fight at 45. This is one of those fights where I feel like he's gonna come out for the finish. Maybe even finish Amirkhani with leg kicks or maybe a spinning back heel kick to let people remember where he was.
Good. Well, they'll get all your picks certainly on Instagram with your nice little scratch offs. Just to recap, last week 7-3-1 overall, 19-14-2, 57.5%. So if you're putting your money with Bully, you're making money. Moving to the main event, this is a fun one, man. Fascinating fight, and even Sandhagen turned around quickly. So Corey Sandhagen, Marlon Moraes. Pretty close to pick'em fight. Sandhagen minus 135, Moraes plus 105. Sandhagen just coming off the loss to Aljamain Sterling a couple months back. So what do you think goes on in this one, Mr. Muhammad?
This one is a tough one right here. And it's one of those two where it's like, both of the guys and they're both like super cool dudes. So it's like one of those where like kind of thing where I said last week where like you don't want to pick when you have friends fighting or people fighting because it's hard. But both these guys are so good. And that division is so stacked, man. The thing is, Corey's coming off that loss to Aljamain pretty easily. Marlon's coming off that big win. I think it's one of those two where it comes down to cardio base. If it goes past the third round, then I'll give Corey a better chance. But earlier rounds, I'm giving it to Marlon. So I don't know. I think I'm going to give this one to Marlon with a finish. Sandhagen usually has to wake up a little bit before he starts turning up the fight a little bit. But I think Marlon doesn't let you off the hook once he hits you hard. So I think I'm going to give this one to Marlon on this one.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I think I lean that way. I never like going against a guy off a loss. I've heard some sort of rumblings that Sandhagen felt like he left some things out there. Certainly could have been some opportunities maybe for him in that fight. You know, Aljamain Sterling to me, you know, that's my guy. I sort of expected him to handle that. I think he's been overdue a title shot, so I was happy to see him sort of seal the deal there. Well, anyway, I'm looking forward to watching that one. So speaking of watching ESPN Plus, you see any of that Declassified, that documentary? I'm sure, yeah, you did. Yeah, I said some about Jared Gordon there, and
that show was awesome, man. Literally, that was like probably the funniest part I've ever seen in my life. When they literally try to make Jared Gordon seem like he killed somebody just because he had a positive test, and then they started like slow motioning and then like screenshotting all the stuff where he did wrong. And then when you saw Megan O'Leary say, "Yeah, I told Jared Gordon, make sure you put your mask on." Right? Like, we're not playing around right here. And I was like, Jared, what the fudge? He's like, bro, they really made me seem bad right now. Like, what the heck?
How about the best part, the way that they framed it, the way when Jared's sitting there, he goes, must be COVID. And they had Megan's audio on there like, I wear a mask all the time. I thought it was so disrespectful. And, dude, that had me dying. But everyone knows that we only watched it because Bully was tweeting about it. That's all I gotta say.
No doubt about it. Well, you know, and so what's fascinating about that is obviously John flew with Jared Gordon, and both the tests were false positive, right? But when it first comes positive, you know, so John's calling us back here saying, you know, I tested positive, and your mind doesn't go to like a false positive. You know, you go to where it's positive, and so he was thinking he'd be quarantining in Vegas for 2 weeks. You know, by himself, not knowing if he's going to be able to call the fight card. And your mind plays games on you with COVID-19. I'm sure in all aspects, anyone who's got a sniffle or any little hiccup, it's like, you're like, did it come my way? Am I asymptomatic? So it was just fascinating for me to sort of see it. Because for me, when we sort of lived it with John with the positive test, sort of a different sort of side of it. You know, I knew about that well before they released this documentary, where we're just sort of, you know, getting text message about the corresponding negative test, you know, celebrating like the Patriots won the Super Bowl. You know, it was nuts, man.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Just the way, like, how, because I know Jared personally, so I know how nonchalant he is about everything. But then you also see like they're making Jared seem like he's a freaking criminal. And then they posted his mug shots. I'm like, where did that even come from? It's just like telling the whole story. I'm like, whoever the producer of that show was hilarious. He made it seem so good. But I thought it was awesome just that Jared got the spotlight. Like, you know, it's one of those where he's not one of those big names like Conor McGregor or something where they're doing documentaries on him. But like he literally had a whole episode to himself. And then it showed him from his freaking bad past to then all of a sudden he won the fight. And then even in the fight where it was like it was a close guillotine, but it was nothing too serious. But they was like so dramatic where they were like, da 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 da. He's about to tap. Dana White's looking like, oh my God, that was tight. I was like, no, Jared!
Dude, the drama, it's so funny, man, because my perspective, the drama was real. Like you could be sure. I'm talking to John back at that time. He's like, dude, Jared Gordon on the plane with Dana and Matt Serra taking pictures, like no mask. Everyone, you know, just really John's perspective was just hoping that he didn't have it so he could call the fights, you know? So seeing it.
That little screenshot of them where they were like, and then Dana was like, fudging Jared Gordon. And then they showed the screenshot of the picture on the plane. Like, yeah, some guy on the plane wanted to take a picture. And I went, it was me, Matt Serra, Michael Bisping, and then Jared just smiling. I was like, no, Jared's going to freaking cancel my Fight Island.
Right. Dude, and not to mention the picture of Jared, it didn't even look like him. I'm sure the weight was down, but, you know, seeing him on our show, nice and healthy compared to, you know, it didn't even look like him, bro.
Yeah, it was here, but it was pretty cool. Even when they showed the weight cutting side of it with him and Paul Felder, and they were like, they show how like fighters cut weight and things like that. It was pretty cool where they were like doing the bath. Like a lot of people want to see that type of thing. And I feel like the UFC needs to do more like that because honestly, the show was cool. It was like where you had a lot of haters saying, "Oh, another show about Dana White," like reporters, and Dana White like went off on them, like, "Shut the fudge up! This is about Fight Island and this and this." But I think it'll be cool to keep something like this going because like that's what people want to see. Like you have the embedded for Fight Week, but like even behind the scenes, like this is a lot better, and like you get a more in-depth thing with it.
Dude, 100%. And Dana White's just masterful. I mean, with all of it, and whoever, you know, with all the different things with COVID and different sports, the way that he sort of, whoever's idea was, they just keep going and they keep working the UFC. They don't stop, you know, and we got, you know, certainly there was some criticism early on with having the shows or not having the shows, and they just kept rolling. But it's not like they're just putting on shows. They're filming a documentary that people don't even know about. You know, it just doesn't stop, man. And it's certainly not going to stop when you. Oh, it's nighttime in England.
Yo!
UFC middleweight Darren Till joins the program. Are you driving, sir?
Yeah. I got my phone on a holder though, don't worry.
Yeah, we don't want you to crash. Are you all right? How far are you?
I'll be doing myself a favour if I crash. I hate myself. I hate my life.
Maybe that'll be one of the challenges.
Sorry?
I said maybe that'll be one of the challenges for later when you're going against Gilbert Burns. Well, we'll put that on the wheel.
Darren, crash your car, do us all a favour and die, will you?
How you feeling, brother? Were you coming back from training?
Yeah. I just been there to just train a few hours back, and then I went for some food just on my way home now.
Bro, hey, I want to know what happened on what's going on with these new Zoom calls? What goes on with the 100 people in your freaking call with you?
The which? The Zoom call?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just I found out that on Zoom you could invite anyone in, so I just put my ID out there for everyone to see, and it sort of hit off, mate, didn't it? But you can only allow 100 people in at a time, which is quite shit because there was a lot of requests. But just keeping it fun and entertaining for everyone in it. Darren Till, the man of the people.
That like right there, that's the next level thing where I say like you keep ups it up the level where I'm like, all right, you did your face mashes, you did that, now you're adding this in there. It's like another thing where you said it's like how to interact with the fans, where you're like, all right, it's getting people just to know you even more and get to like you even better because you're doing stuff that other people aren't doing.
I'm not doing it necessarily like. Obviously, I want fans to love me. Obviously, we're always gonna, as fighters, we're always gonna have that love and hate, but sort of, I don't like saying like to be real either because I think that's a term that's used a lot by fighters. Like, I'm the real. Like, I don't know why fighters say that. I sort of like see myself as. I just want people to see me as Darren Till, the fighter, but I'm also one of the lads. Like one of the guys. I'm not so different, and
where you don't gotta fake it.
Yeah, I like chatting shit. I like having a good time. I like having fun. So, I think it's really good, especially nowadays, to just not take ourselves too seriously in life, and that's sort of how I am. So, interact with the fans on Zoom calls. It's just for 5 minutes, bullshitting and stuff like that. It goes a long way with a lot of people.
All right, now I need to know, how close are you to getting in Perry's corner?
Probably never. He fucking
dude. Hey, that GoFundMe was the funniest thing in the world. I'm like, man, if Darren gets in this corner, dude, that would be next level.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know Perry's got a problem with me, and I know why he's got a problem. I keep baiting him in, and just but I do genuinely like the guy. If he wants to fight me on site, that's not a problem. I'm not one of these guys from cameras of like shoving and that. If you want to fight, we just knock at my room and we can have a good fight, no problems, and we shake hands after. But if I was to do his corner, I would definitely do it seriously. And it's a good idea what he's had. He's obviously for the money and blah blah. It's a good idea. I was thinking. I'm running low on money. I was thinking about auctioning off one of my corners. I mean, it's a brilliant idea.
Man, I'm sitting here looking like, man, that is literally probably one of the smartest ideas. I literally had a guy before saying, yeah, I want to sponsor you. I'm like, all right, what do you do? He's like, yeah, I'm a lawyer. I said, I don't know how you're going to sponsor me if you're a lawyer. He said, no, I'll pay for you just so you don't have to work no more. I'm going to pay you $4,000 a month, but I want to be in your corner. And I'm like, nah. But now that I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm stupid. I should have said yes to this guy.
Fucking tell him to message me right this minute.
I was like, dude, I'm about to hit this guy back up, but for sure, 100%, I'm going to do a GoFundMe for the next one and see who wants to be in my corner. Because there's some guys out here, even especially for you, there'll be a prince or somebody out here that wants to offer you like $50,000 just to be in your corner.
Wow. I mean, if someone's offering you $50,000 to be in your corner, take the money. Just take the money. No questions asked. I mean, it's hard enough, not to hate on the UFC or whatever, but, obviously we don't make as much as I think we should make. And so anything you can make outside of that, I would say go for it. Like, if you happen to come up with a saying like raw dog, make a business out of it.
Absolutely.
Dude, that is literally the most epic thing. How did you make your own company off of a saying like raw dog?
Well, exactly. Dude, so it's nice to meet you, man. I have to say, I watched your interview with MMA Junkie, man. Just a lot of great shit, man, coming out of your mouth. Some of the things, talking about Adesanya's fight, some of the shit, actions louder than words and the words louder than that. Like, I'm with you, brother. So I just wanted to say that, in terms of Adesanya, though, and I'm not trying to hop over Hermanson, but I really think it's a fascinating matchup. And there certainly seems to be some mutual respect there. So, I mean, is that something, how do you sort of shift the focus to Hermanson when you do sort of see that as the pinnacle down the road?
Can I just ask, are you not John Anik?
Yo, I was literally about to say that. I said the second that Jason started talking, Darren's face was looking at the camera like, who the fuck is this?
I'm like, what the fuck? John Anik has grew his hair really quick.
Quarantine's hit people hard, bro.
Right? Yeah, same DNA, man. I'm really curious about Hermanson, because obviously that's the next step.
If I'm being totally honest, I mean, there's two parts to this sort of answer, and I think Hermanson right now in top 5 is probably the hardest fight maybe for me, because he comes with a totally different game. He doesn't really, from what I've watched, this is not criticism by the way, he doesn't really set up his submissions. He just jumps for them, and he's got one hell of a squeeze, and he's really good at finishing them. The Gastelum one was like quite weird, because I thought, like, having trained in Brazil for so long, leg locks, I thought Gastelum had a real chance of getting out, but he finished it, which was good. But every other submission I've seen from him, he's got some he's got some strength on them squeezes. So I think it's going to be a real tough matchup. I just need to come in and be a bit more work rate. Like with my fight with Whittaker, I was making a miss and hitting him, but I wasn't capitalizing on them openings. Like when he would lunge with shots and I would make him miss, I was sort of just hitting him once where I should have been punishing him for them, and just a little bit more work rate in the 5 rounds, because I was fit and I was fit for the 5 rounds. But that's my mistake. That's on my part, stuff to work on. I think with Hermanson, it's just going to be I think it's going to be jiu-jitsu versus striking, and whoever's willing to implement his the more aggressive style is going to win on the night. And
when I look at that, when I look at Hermanson, I'm sitting there like you said, I feel like Hermanson's a tougher fight for you than Izzy. I think Izzy's like fits right into your style, because I'm like, that striking for striking is gonna be like perfect. Like even Costa had him to the fence a lot, where you put your presence on him and you have him to the fence, but Costa didn't throw. When you put somebody to the fence, you're throwing once they get stuck in that little level right there. But Hermanson, he's odd. He has odd striking. He has odd strength, obviously, and then he's not afraid to pull guard and do weird stuff like that. So that's why it's harder, I feel.
That's why I think as well, if I can take a lot from the Hermanson fight with Cannonier, maybe I can do sort of pull the same thing off. Because Hermanson actually got Cannonier's back as well. I was live at the fight, and Cannonier survived, and then he I think he knocked him out with the uppercut and then finished with ground and pound. So if I'm going to look at that tape quite a lot and just study for my own benefit. But I'm only just getting back to sort of full health as well. Like my knee, I don't know how I've recovered it this quick. Like it's recovered so quick. It was a real bad tear.
I was gonna say, do you like bring in certain guys, or do you just stick with the same team? Do you like, all right, now I'm going against a grappler, so let me fly in a couple grapplers to go against certain grapplers and be like a certain style for me?
Yeah, we've got like 3 or 4 guys coming in, but it's quite funny in England as well. I don't know if it's the same in America, but especially with our team, we've sort of got that mentality. We're changing a bit. We've got that mentality, like, if you're not with us, you're against us. Like, fuck you guys. We won't ask anyone for help. It's us against the world. And so we don't really, I don't know how these other teams are in England, but we don't really train with a lot of other teams or other guys. Like, it's funny because I'm sat here and, Leon Edwards only lives like 1 hour away from me, like him and his brother. And like, me and him, now that we're different weight classes and his brother's in Bellator, we could really be getting some work in. So maybe I'll reach out and be like, do you want to get that work in and help each other? But usually it's just like, just pay some guys to get in, or ask some guys, certain guys that we know. It's never really, it has always sort of been in-house with our team, because we're very we're strict, and we hate the world, which is, is it wrong, is it right? I don't know.
No, I was literally gonna ask you about Leon. Like Leon, literally, I'm sitting there like, Leon could take a lot of stuff from you, where like he doesn't interact with fans. That's why he's not getting the title shot. I feel like if he was a little more interactive, doesn't know how to talk trash or anything on Twitter, where he's like not calling for the right situation. Like, what do you think about his situation with like, who do you think he should fight?
I think now that Wonderboy's called him out, I mean, you can say what you want about Wonderboy, but he's a tough fight for anyone, the style he brings. I mean, stylistically, such a tough mental battle I had with him. I think Leon should take the fight and prove that he is the top 5. He's ready for the next shot. Because, you know, we've got one thing, COVID's ruining everything. And now that the fight's been rescheduled of Usman and Burns, I'd just take the Wonderboy fight and, you know, I'd just prove my worth. Because a lot of people aren't, like, giving him the worth that maybe he deserves. He is on an 8-fight win streak. But then people are saying, well, you've beat no one in the top 5. So I would just grab Wonderboy if he's, like, number 6 or something. I'd just go out there, beast him, and then just, you know, say, right, now I'm ready for the title shot. I'm next in line.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm sitting there like, he keeps saying Wonderboy's not worth it for me. He got knocked out by Anthony Pettis. I'm like, dude, Wonderboy's like the name. He has a huge following. So I'm like, if you beat Wonderboy, that's one of those names like a Damian Maia. Gilbert Burns knocked out Maia, and you're like, damn, Gilbert Burns is legit. He just beat a Maia. So if you beat like a Wonderboy, I'm like, you're legit if you fight Wonderboy and you beat Wonderboy. Like, there ain't nothing pushing you back after that one.
Yeah, I would. If he goes out there and beasts Wonderboy, then that's it. He doesn't need to do nothing else. He can sit out for 2 years knowing that he's next in line for the title shot. If it was me personally, you know what? Who am I to say anything? But if it was me, I would take the Wonderboy fight. You know, I think I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm like 18-3 or whatever. And I'm like 8-3 in the UFC, whatever like that. But you know, you look at my resume to the guys I've fought, beat, and lost to. You know, they're all killers out there. So I would just go out there and try to kill Wonderboy, and then he's earned his place.
How you liking training during that COVID? Is it a lot harder down there, or are you guys doing like specific things to change the way you train?
I mean, it's getting difficult now because they've just locked our like region down again. So Monday everything closes again. So I don't know. It's like I tell you what, if it wasn't for me like doing these businesses on the side, like because of this COVID, like raw dog business and stuff, like, you know, I'd be struggling myself. Like, we're all struggling. COVID's hitting everyone hard. So, you know, after my fight with Whittaker, I was like, right, I've got some time off now with my injury. Let's be smart and make a couple of businesses. So, you know, that's sort of the route I'm going down now, the route.
All right, now back to Twitter. Who do you got winning this beef between John Jones and Izzy? Who do you think's doing better on Twitter?
I think they're just, you know, I think they're just hailing insults at each other. I don't think there's like a strategic. See, like when I have my beef with Petty, I'm baiting Petty to say something. I'm baiting him. I've already got 5 memes lined up. I'm like, Petty, let's go. But they're just like hailing insults. And I seen that like Ariel put something like, you know, you shouldn't bring like mothers and stuff into it like that. And you know, I have to agree. I think the one thing maybe we should always keep out of arguments on Twitter is racism, because I don't think we need any more racism as there is in the world right now. There's just too much of it going on. And if you can just keep that out of the arguments, everything else is fair game. So if you want to talk about mothers, I mean, does Izzy talk about, is John Jones' mother, like, is she passed or something?
John Jones' mother's passed, but like when Izzy said it, Izzy just said that, like, I don't think your mother would be proud of you, what you become.
Oh, low blow from Izzy.
Yeah, that was low. But like I said, like even with your trash talk, it's like classy kind of, where it's like you're making memes, so it's funny. And then it's just funny because Mike Perry can't take a joke. Mike Perry just like, he's that kid at school. If you made fun of him at school, he's gonna be like, all right, we're fighting at recess, 100%. What did you say about me?
Yeah, he's he's easy. He's very easy to wind up on the old internet. That's why I'm gonna have to have my guard up when we see each other, because he's gonna try and take me hair clean off.
I was like, dude, 100%. You're gonna be in a street fight. Like, when's the last time you were in a street fight? Because Perry's 100% gonna be street fighting.
Oh, I was street fighting just the other day, mate. It's always happening around these ways. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. Come on. But you know, these Twitter beefs they've been fun. I've been there going at Brendan Schwab like just every night.
Why are you going at him for? Did he come at you or not?
No, I don't hate the guy. I don't dislike the guy. I just think what I'm doing is funny. So listen, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you're. This is how I look at it. If I'm having a beef with, let's say, one of the scariest guys in the world, Francis Ngannou, I need to know that when I'm going to meet Francis Ngannou, he's going to take my head completely off. The man's 6'7" and blah, blah. but I just do not give a fuck. I'm not going to stand there on Twitter and say, oh, fuck you, because I'll beat you in a fight. Francis Ngannou would take my head clean off, but I just don't give a fuck. So I'll go at anyone, but Brendan Straub's just easy.
Dude, it's like the realest things too, because like all of the memes and stuff you make are like, they're like so real, and everybody, it just makes the fans go nuts on it. And I'm like, everybody starts tweeting, yeah, he is like that, he is like that. I'm like, dude, it's like I'm looking at it like, man, it's so funny. And then when you're coming at Mike Perry's girlfriend, I'm like, oh my God, Mike Perry's about to go nuts.
Dude, but it's clear Darren's just on even keel the whole time. Nothing phases him. All right, I'm going to go to bed, later, and then it's bye, and go to sleep.
Yeah, listen, there's no problems, where, I mean, a lot of fighters could be different from myself, but, you can come at me, you can come at my kids, you can come at my girl, you can come at my family. It really just doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. So I think when you're in a mindset like that, you're always going to win the Twitter beefs and the Twitter wars, because you can say what you want. I ain't asked. I can say one thing and you're going to get your knickers in a twist. I'm winning that shit.
That is true. That's one of those where Mike Perry, I'm like, he's fuming right now. Then even like I messaged him like, yo, you want to come on the show with Darren Till? And he just ignored me. I was like, come on, bro. This would be so funny.
Sorry, I just broke up there a second. You repeat that, Belal?
Oh, my bad. I said, man, like, that's like the perfect thing about Mike Perry is, because I messaged him and I was like, yo, you want to get on the show with Darren Till, play against him on the game show? And he just like left me on red. I can just tell he's just like fuming that I even brought your name up. Like, no, that's that guy. Like, he's one of those guys for sure he's seeing red next time he sees you.
Oh, yeah, he hates me, What can I do? I like the guy, but he hates me. He does. He hates me.
Did you guys end up training or anything together when you guys were at that one time?
Yeah, we sparred. I know he tweeted me, was like, I fucked it up in the spar. And, I don't need to come. This is another thing. Like, I don't need to come out and say, oh, yeah, I beat him in the sparring, because it doesn't mean a fucking thing. I could beat Terry. I could beat Mike Perry in 10 sparring sessions. Then we go to fight and he knocks me out. Who's the winner there? So, Ariel was like, oh, how did you get on in the sparring session? I'm like, I don't really need to talk about it. Mike Perry won. Just leave it at that. So what? Who gives a fuck?
What happened when Ariel was on your show yesterday, on the stream with you guys yesterday? The fans went nuts on him?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I messaged him and I was like, Ariel, come on the Zoom now, come on. And he's like, oh, I was like, Ariel, how many times have you asked me for an interview? Come on, get on. So he come on, and every guy seen Ariel just going, hey, Ariel, get on my nuts, man. It was funny. It was fucking hilarious, to be totally honest.
1 second. Let me just see where Gilbert is right now.
I tell you, there's nothing better than hearing Darren Till say he doesn't give a fuck in that accent. Nothing better for me all day long. I was talking to my brother about it today. I'm like, I can't say fuck like that. I can't imitate that. It's nothing better, brother. Nothing better.
Does it sound good?
Oh, it's incredible. And I couldn't say I can't do it. And I was an actor before. I have so little bit of dialect. I can't do it, but I'll work on it. But it's beautiful. Yeah. So where is Burns, bully?
The Scouse accent is an intriguing one, to say the least.
Yeah, oh, no doubt.
I messaged him. He said he should be on a couple minutes.
He's scared, isn't he? Just scared. Scared what's about to happen. I mean, I don't even know what's about to happen, but I know he's scared. He's scared of me. Come on, Gilbert.
I was looking for Tatiana Suarez was like, oh, let me on the show. I'm going to talk trash to Darren Till. He got scared of me last week. I was like, no, it was just a time change. She's like, no. He was scared.
Listen, I beat Tatiana because I didn't even turn up. That's how much I beat her. I just went to sleep. I just left her talking on her own.
No, that was a funny part right there.
That was too late. I thought you was like 1:35 in the afternoon. I was like, yeah, that's sound for me. And then you was like, no, it's the night. I was like, oh, I might not make that.
No, when you said that to me, I'm sitting here like, because I was like, yo, 1 a.m. It'll be 1 a.m. your time. You're like, yeah, that's cool. I'm like, man, does he train that late? Because you're like, yeah, I'll just get out of training at 1. I was like, man, he trains super late. Maybe he's trying to get acclimated to the time in Vegas. And I was like, all right, that's weird, but okay, cool. He trains late. And then you messaged me that morning at 7 a.m. I was like, no, bro, what's happening?
No, I swear to God, and I was saying to my girl, I was like, I've got to do this interview. I was like, I'm staying awake. She was like, Darren, you won't do it. Your eyes are full. I was like, no, I will. And then next minute, mate, I woke up and I was like, oh no. I had like 50 missed calls. I was like, oh my God.
That was even the worst part because I was trying to call you, but UK from the US, you have to dial like 01104. And I was like, I'm calling my brothers. I'm like, yo, we're on the show. Keep calling Darren until he answers. They're like, he's not answering. I was like, my sister's like, yeah, I left him a voicemail. See if he got my voicemail. I was like, I don't think he listens to voicemails, but okay. That was like the funniest thing around. But I was like, all right, cool. I'll see if he got it. And then she'll message me during the week like, hey, did Darren say he got my voicemail? I was like, dude, nobody listens to voicemails.
Nobody listens. Only Mike Perry listens to voicemails. Oh my God.
No, that was awesome.
Darren was saying on this interview I was here with MMA Junkie. So Belal sent you a sweatshirt. Is this true, right? So Bully, your merchandise won't ship to England, right? So you're shipping one to Darren. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh, he already got it. Yeah, I had to go through some ups and downs of trying to get it to there because I was like, man, it don't ship over there. So then I had to open up my own little thing in the UK. But honestly, that was respectful. Like, so much respect that you even like attempted to buy it. That's why I was like, man, this dude's real. This guy's a real dude.
Of course, you know what? I've only just recently started thinking about this as well, like the past year, like, you know, 29.99, something like that, some shit like that, like just for the fighters and stuff like that. You know, we might even some fighters you might not like the fight. That little purchase, I feel, goes a long way and supports the business and. You know, stuff like that. I think a lot of us fighters should do more. You know, even as you say, even if you don't like the guy, just like this fund I'm doing for Perry, however much it makes, he can have it. Like even if he says no, fuck Till, he's not coming in my corner. I'll be like, okay, Perry, no problem. There's the money I raised. You can have it. So what? And you know, so.
That's like the biggest thing too. Where I say like where you said like most fighters take everything way too serious. Where they don't want to, I don't want to follow this guy on Twitter. I don't want to follow, like, little stuff like sharing stuff on Twitter, following stuff on Twitter. Like, even Michael Bisping be like, yo, retweet my podcast. And I'm like, I'm going to retweet it because I'm not a hater. I'm like, there's so many people that'll look at it like, that's that guy. I'm not going to share it. I don't want to do this for that guy.
No.
What has he ever done for me?
Every person I follow on Twitter, I repost. I recently unfollowed everyone on Instagram because I thought, for my own benefit, because I think I was getting a bit too wound up in Instagram and looking at stuff I didn't want to see. So I thought, if I unfollow just a few people, you know, I don't want people like, Till, why did you unfollow me? Is it because you're UFC superstars and shit? So I thought, right, everyone's getting unfollowed. Fuck them all. So now on my Instagram, I don't see anything. It's crazy. Oh, here he is.
Yo, that's not Gilbert Burns. That's Lewis Taylor, PFL middleweight champion.
I'm so ready for this, Gilbert Burns. Come on.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm Gilbert Burns' stepsister or something.
The black Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
But this game show is gonna be funny. Let's get to this game show. Let's get this started.
I wasn't.
Well, this could be a little more challenging for Darren if he's still in a vehicle, but handguns, you're a veteran. So get to the rules, Mr. Merrill. Questions go back and forth. When you know the answer, shout bully. I'll be the tiebreaker if you guys are close and you're shouting a bully. You get 2 questions right, your opponent does a challenge. The first to 3 challenges loses. Handguns, Darren Till, let's go.
Okay.
As Darren Till is driving, we'll cut off the challenges. We'll go first person to answer 5 questions right.
Perfect.
Okay.
First person to 5 points. These are the questions for today, Darren. Categories.
Oh, hang on. We gotta wait. Lou's having some technical difficulties, just like Gilbert.
You good, Lou?
Lost him again. This is live TV, boys. This is how we roll. This is what you get, Darren, when you're coming on an American show. We're just fucking everything up like we are the world.
Well, those categories are incredible, and we have all sorts of questions, so we could sort of get rolling. Oh, there he is.
Came back.
All right, categories for today. Here are the categories.
Okay.
Find this. Darren, you're in the car, so you're probably not going to want to pick one of these, but you have to find a certain thing unless you have a random thing in the car. Who is she or he This is a filter, girl filter on UFC fighter guys. You have to tell me who's the guy.
Filter.
Face smash. This is your specialty, Darren. 2 UFC fighter faces. You have to tell me which 2 they are.
Oh,
And then name scramble. This would probably be easier for both of you guys. Name scramble. I scramble the names out. You have to figure them out. I figure out whose name it is.
text me the answers.
All right, Darren, your first time on the show. Pick your first category.
Who find this?
You want to find this? You're in a car.
Really? Let's go.
We'll do who is she or he for 100.
Let's go.
Who is it? You have to say bully if you know the answer.
Oh, I know that.
Come on.
That's tough.
We got 5 seconds.
3,
2, 1. Come on. Answer. Jorge Masvidal.
Bastard knocked me out.
He was a cute girl, though.
I would definitely fuck him.
Yeah. You looked a little touched by God.
Oh, that was hard. Right.
Let's do the same one for 200. Who is she or he?
Okay.
This is a better one. Come on, guys.
Who the fuck is that?
Come on.
It's a she. I think
It's a he.
It's a he. God dang. All right.
Yeah, these are he's. He's fighting this weekend.
I'll let Darren take it. Darren, you saw yours.
Answer.
Last
Come on.
week's was easy. What the?
This was an easy one.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh,
Come on, dude. These guys are good.
fuck.
I need the crappy ones you had last week. That I could tell.
These ones were hot. That was a hot girl right there.
Don't make
What?
them.
Let's go face smash for 100.
Okay.
You have to guess 2 fighters this is.
It's Darren Till and Mike Perry.
Oh!
Bobby, Darren Till, Mike Perry. Yes.
That was good. How'd you get that one so quick? That was the funniest one. All right, let's go for 200 face smash.
Let's go. Ooh, who's that? Scott Coker and I don't know.
They're fighting next week.
Fighting next week.
Oh.
Come on.
I'm reading the
bullshit.
fucking comments. This game show makes me question my sexuality. I don't know. You go, Gilbert.
That's Korean Zombie and Brian Ortega. Come on.
Yeah, fucking hell. These are hard.
These are
That was
hard.
an easy one. You do the face smash all the time. How did you not know that one? Let's go face smash again for 300.
Okay, let's go. Bulby.
Okay.
George Masvidal, Colby Covington.
Covington for sure.
That was super late, Lou.
Yeah, man.
That's 2 fights. That's 2 fights, Darren.
I feel like I just got put into a ringer because he can't find shit, and I don't know these faces. So it's just me doing fucking punishment.
Lou, you got to do a challenge since you're at the house.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a clean sweep.
This is an easy one. Saltine challenge. You did this one before.
What is it?
Saltine.
I told you I'm black. We don't do crackers. Hold on.
He's going to go get his crackers. He has to eat 5 crackers in a row with no water.
I mean, he was one away from one of the best challenges, which is a 30-second roast Helwani segment. So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, if you get to that challenge, that would be funny to see, Darren. We can just all say how much we hate Darren Errol Hawani right now.
Yeah, we hate him. I hate him.
Dude, I was like, how did you not get in these face smashes? These face smashes are freaking easy.
I don't know. When you put on the spot, man, fuck me.
No, that Mike Perry one of you was good. I was like, man, that one like turned out so perfect. I was like, I'm gonna post that one as my profile picture.
Yeah, that's a cracker. That is a belter. That's a boss one.
There we go.
What are those? Those are cheese crackers.
Dude, that's all I got.
That's cool.
Whoa.
Let's go. Next question.
My mom, Alex.
Let's go. Who is he or she for 300?
Okay. It's Bulby, Edson Barboza, and
No, it's only one. It's only one.
Edson Barboza.
Barboza.
Boo.
Wait,
Tell sweeping you, Lou. That's 3.
he didn't say bully.
I did. I said Bulby. I said Bully.
All right. One more question. Face smash for 400. 2 people.
Bully, Ariel Hawani, and DC.
Oh, that was a good one.
Bro,
How did you get that one so easy? That was fast.
this is some bullshit.
I thought that was a hard one.
I love the way America said, this is some bullshit.
Burns right here, man. Gilbert, you owe Darren Till 5 crackers.
Lou, you got to tweet out.
I don't even go on Twitter.
You got to tweet.
What am I tweeting?
You got to tweet out and tag John Jones. You're going to lose to Izzy. You got to tag Izzy.
I got to tag who?
John Jones, and you got to tag Adesanya.
You want me to do it now or after the show?
Yeah, you can scroll up and do it now. We'll wait.
I'll scroll. Will you see my Pornhub site?
Oh, man. Dude, they're gonna be like,
now
what the heck is
that
he talking
Now that Lou brought it up, I think the most interesting question I have for the Englishman here, Darren, how real are those fake taxi videos? Is that just
Now,
are there just
what you want me
guys
to
walking
say?
around London railing chicks all the time, or what?
What? Oh, the fake taxi in London? If
Yo,
it's
Bully.
real.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, of course.
You gotta text John. You gotta tweet out John Jones is gonna lose to Adesanya, and you gotta tag both of them.
Yeah, that's completely real. 100%. Mad.
All right, let's go. Lou.
All right, it's done.
Tweet. You forgot a tweet.
the tweet, I gotta have to find the goddamn account. There you go.
I'm gonna check. Make sure you did it.
It's up there.
How far is your gym from your house, Darren? You look like you've been driving for an hour.
Yeah.
You're that far?
Yeah, it was far today. It was a strength one. It's far.
Oh, you go to multiple different ones?
Yeah, I just one just in another city close by. It's just my friends. Just go pump some iron. It's good. It's good. I like it.
I see you. Let's go, Lou. You ready? Back to the game show. Lou, you need to answer some questions right. Darren's just smirking you.
Yo, I was playing my war zone, bro. Hold on. This is I can't.
Who is he or she for 400?
Okay.
I'm not in.
Come on, Darren. Come on. Bully.
I'm not
Stephen
even.
Wonderboy Thompson.
Oh! That was easy. Darren, you're a beast.
Come on! I'm fucking coming, man!
Oh, we lost him. Where'd he go?
Handgun's gone. He's down 5-0. He just dipped out, I guess, you know?
That was the game.
Tills.
That was a clean-
Oh,
He's
Where'd
a
you go, Lou? He
skimp.
just clean sweeped you.
I told you I didn't want to be going to Twitter once I didn't come back. Once you said
Well, Darren just got that last question right.
I heard
That was 5 in a row. Darren, that's your victory.
Yes.
You're gonna get a complimentary T-shirt in the mail. Lou, you gotta do one more challenge.
Let's go. Let's go.
You know what? You finna be missing more than one shoe tomorrow.
You gotta take a bite out of an onion, Lou. I know you got onions.
he's that look he's got an onion.
I only cook cereal.
Everybody eats onions, Lou. And you gotta take a bite out of it on camera. Well, Darren, your first time on the show, it was a clean sweep. It was an easy victory. There wasn't really much of a challenge. How does it feel to be a winner?
Feels great. I just think that now we should all treat Gilbert Burns. You know, fucking absolute shitbag, shite house. Fucking scared.
I knew he had it.
He's clearly scared.
Take a bite.
Dude, I don't know why my wife got onion. Hold on.
Come on.
Dude, I've never. How big? I'm doing a little.
I need an apple bite.
What? Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, dude, that's disgusting. But thank you for coming on the show, Darren. It was fun, and man, we gotta have you back on the show. I gotta get you against somebody else.
Good to meet you guys. Yep. See you soon.
Handguns, thank you, brother. Once again, man. 3 out of 4.
Dude, this was not fair. I want a rematch with.
Was that a real onion?
Dude, he's due some gold, some rugs, the whole thing. Anyway,
I mean, if Lou can come on here and win, we might have to pay for some better internet for him because I don't know what the hell. He gave Belal shit about his internet, and now he's got the bad internet. That's karma.
I'm sitting here looking at him like, where does he keep going? That's what happened when you had that freaking. We still got AOL dial-up.
hey, dude, Lou shows up 3 out of 4 weeks. Hard to pick a bone, you know?
Nah, that was awesome. Fun show. Darren's such a freaking fun guy.
Dude, it's great, man. Well, hey, 4 down. Keep train rolling, man. It's good to see you as always, and get fucking out there and train to knock that fucking 0 off Brady.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, brother. See you next week.
Well, remember the show, episode 4. Join us next Thursday. We don't know what time, probably 8:30 Eastern time. For Belal Muhammad, producer Cody Merrow, my name is Jason Anik. We appreciate you all tuning in. Till next Thursday. Later.